Welcome to Snowshoe Gun Club Orientation. This video is for any new member, returning member, or active member who has not already participated in our orientation. Over the next few minutes, we're going to go over 4 major topics that you need to know as members of Snowshoe Gun Club. Number 1, safe firearm handling. Number 2, range rules. Number 3, prohibited actions. And number 4, individual range procedures. At Snowshoe Gun Club, we abide by and enforce the fundamental NRA rules for safe gun handling. Those rules start with the 3 always. Number 1, always keep your firearm pointed in a safe direction. Number 2, always keep your finger off the trigger until ready to shoot. Number 3, always keep your firearm unloaded until ready to use. In addition to these 3 always, make sure you know your target and what is beyond. Be sure the downrange area is unoccupied. Be sure the gun is safe to operate. Be familiar with how your gun operates. Use only the correct ammunition for your gun. Wear eye and ear protection as appropriate. Never use alcohol or drugs while shooting. Also be aware that certain types of guns and many shooting activities require additional safety precautions. Snowshoe has 9 club-specific range rules that must be followed while using our facilities. Number 1, keep firearms pointed downrange at all times. This includes firearms that are still in their cases. Number 2, always verify that no one is downrange before shooting. Number 3, do not handle or touch firearms when people are downrange. Number 4, leave firearm actions open and remove detachable magazines before people go downrange. Number 5, stay behind benches to fire weapons and do not go beyond the shooting bench until all shooters have ceased shooting. All actions are open and everyone is clear of their firearm. Number 6, eye and hearing protection are required for all shooters and spectators. Number 7, no drugs or alcohol are allowed at the range. Number 8, unload firearms before leaving the firing line. Number 9, if present, range safety officers, also known as RSOs, will control firing line activity. In addition to those 9, members are expected to abide by the following set of guidelines. Always have a copy of your membership card on your person while using the facilities. A photo of your card on your mobile device is acceptable. RSOs may request to see your membership card, and members found without theirs may be asked to leave the range. Members may bring guests, however, you are responsible for their actions. Guests must follow all Snowshoe Gun Club rules as described in this video and remain with members at all times. Children must be accompanied by a parent or guardian and must be supervised at all times. Wildlife have the right-of-way, unless in season and the hunter is licensed. Range hours are 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Setting up before 6 a.m. and cleaning up after 10 p.m. are allowed, but the range must remain cold. Scheduled events have priority over range use. We encourage you to check our website and events that might prohibit you from using portions of the range before arriving. Please clean up after yourself. Burn barrels and dumpsters are provided to dispose of trash. And of course, obey all additional rules that are posted around the range, including the 25 mph speed limit. For your safety, there are a small number of prohibited actions that will result in immediate suspension of your club membership. Number 1, vandalism. This includes using any club property against its intended use, especially tables and spools as target stands. Number 2, stealing. Number 3, using tannerite or glass targets. Number 4, using armor-piercing rounds on metal targets. Number 5, using tracers or incendiary ammo is not permitted during times of heightened fire danger. Number 6, using modern weapons at the black powder range. And number 7, loaning your range key to any non-member. If you see anyone violating any of these safe firearm handling rules, range rules, or prohibited actions, please report their name and license plate number to an RSO or club officer immediately. Contact info can be found on our website. Every area of Snowshoe Gun Club has its own set of operating procedures that must be understood and implemented every time the facilities are used. The club is required to prevent unescorted non-members from having ready access to the ranges. This is accomplished through the use of locked gates into the facility where only members have keys to open the gate. For that reason, members are prohibited from loaning their keys to anyone, no exceptions. Members are required to close and lock the gate whenever they enter or leave the club. There are 2 gates to control access to the ranges. The first is the main gate at the entrance to the club off Shotgun Drive. This is the primary gate used to control and limit access to the entire facility. The second gate is located just past Clay's range and controls access only to the rifle and pistol ranges. The second gate is normally closed only when Clay's range is open for public shooting. There are times when the gates need to be left open. Open trap skeet shoot, USPSA matches, and scheduled training are examples of when the gates are left open. In the instance of open trap skeet shooting where the public is invited and the main gate is left open, the second gate should be closed and locked to restrict access to the rifle and pistol ranges. For matches that are open to the public at the rifle range or pistol range, both gates are left open only for those times that non-members may be attending the match. Whenever the gates are left open, a tag or sign stating why the gates are open should be posted at the main gate. Tags should be attached to the lock and signs either be placed on the sign box to the right of the gate or attached to the gate itself. If the main gate is found open without either a tag or a sign explaining why the gate is open, members are expected to close and lock the gate. Next, you will find the Clay's range located across from the training building. The only firearms permitted on this range are shotguns with a number 6 or smaller shot. No slugs are allowed. The use of both hand and mechanical throwers is permitted. The Clay's range is open to the public Wednesday evenings during the summer and Sundays all year, cold weather permitting. There are 4 fields. Trap Field 1 is located on the south end of Clay's range, and Trap Field 2 is adjacent to the Field 1 just to the north. Both fields incorporate voice-activated trap machines capable of throwing double clays as well as wobble function on Field 2. There are 2 combo trap and skeet fields located north of and adjacent to Trap Field 2. These trap fields have cement station walkways. The rifle range is accessed by driving north on the range access road past the Clay's range. This range permits pistols and shotguns of any caliber or gauge. No cannons or targets made of glass or tannerite are allowed. The rifle range is a 1,000-yard range with berms established every 100 yards out to 600 with one at 800 and one at 1,000 yards and is oriented to the north. The range firing line is a covered cement slab and has 10 permanent outside shooting benches and an extension earthen berm to the west. An enclosed shooting shack is located to the east. The shooting of handguns from this structure is strictly prohibited. The shooting shack has 4 shooting positions behind a plexiglass barrier and shooting ports. The shack has a wood-burning stove for heating during the colder months. Target stands are provided on each side of the berm by way of metal frames supporting wooden pallets to which targets can be stapled. There are also steel gongs available at most of the target berms. A supply of replacement pallets is maintained on the west side of the firing line. Members are allowed to replace pallets as needed. A target access road is established on the right side of the rifle range. The use of ATVs is authorized on the access road. For safety purposes, the rifle range firing line has red strobe lights to indicate when the range is cold and people are downrange. There are 2 strobes located above the outside shooting positions and 1 strobe located inside the shooting shack. The switch to activate the strobes is located on the outside wall of the shooting shack to the left of the door of the shack. No one may handle firearms when the range is cold. This includes handling firearms that are still in their cases. Before turning off the lights, positively verify that no one is downrange. If necessary, this may mean driving down the target access road. Whichever member engages the strobe lighting system is required to be the one to turn the system off. The pistol range is located on the range access road after it passes the rifle range and turns east. This range permits rifles, pistols, and shotguns of any caliber or gauge. No cannons or targets made of glass or tannerite are allowed. The pistol range is currently composed of 11 individual pistol bays, running the length from 25 to 85 yards. The bays run north along the east side of the road and are oriented towards the east. For reference, the pistol bays are numbered south 1 through 11. Each bay is enclosed by 3 sides of earthen berms approximately 16 feet high. At the pistol range, the rear berm is considered downrange, so be sure to keep your firearms oriented towards the rear berm. A parking lot has been constructed just north of Bay 11. Enclosed shooting shacks are located on Bays 3, 4, and 11. The shacks have 5 shooting positions. Each shooting position has a port that can be closed. Shacks 4 and 11 feature wood-burning stoves for heat during the colder months. For Bay 3, bring your own heater. Target stands are not provided at the pistol range. Members must bring their own target stands. The use of pallets for target stands at the pistol range, either from the rifle range or those brought from outside the club, is not allowed. Vehicles are driven into the bays for setup, and the pallets leave nails on the ground as they are shot. Targets are only to be placed on the floor of the pistol bays or low on the rear berm. And lastly, do not climb on the berms at the pistol range. North and west of Bay 11 is a 200-meter tactical bay for the use of modern sporting rifles. A small covered area is provided. West of the tactical range is a 50-yard bay dedicated strictly to black powder shooters. Absolutely no modern firearms are to be used at the black powder bay. Muzzle loaders only. There is a covered shooting area provided. Visit our website at www.snowshoegunclub.com to view our events calendar, make range reservations, and to read our full standard operating procedures. Thanks for watching.